The late October sun hung low over Willow Creek, casting long, golden shadows across the riverbank where Jenna Lane and Tom Flash sat side by side on mismatched folding chairs, fishing poles propped lazily against their knees. Jenna, her face still faintly smudged with yesterday's grease paint, her rainbow wig slightly askew, tapped her boot against the cooler. Tom, ever the picture of roguish charm in his crimson tailcoat, top hat tilted just so, and that infamous shit-eating grin permanently etched beneath his kohl-rimmed eyes, flicked a bit of lint off his sleeve. Yet? Jenna asked, not really expecting one. Not unless you count the one nibbling at my patience, Tom drawled, flashing her a wink. Just then, Jenna's eyes snagged on something nailed to the old oak across the path. She squinted. Tom, is that? He followed her gaze. Tacked haphazardly to the bark was a bright orange flyer flapping in the breeze. November Halloween Pet Costume Contest. Saturday, no made of. First 2 p.m. pumpkin square prizes, treats, glory, and a year's supply of catnip. November Halloween? Jenna gasped, scrambling to her feet, nearly toppling her chair. But Halloween was yesterday. Tom's grin widened, slow and slick, like honey poured over mischief. Guess someone forgot to tell the good folks of Willow Creek that spooky season's got an encore. Jenna's mind raced. She had Mr. Whiskershire, perpetually unimpressed, rotund tabby, who'd once worn a tiny pirate hat for exactly 17 seconds before shredding it in protest. But a pumpkin? A full-body pumpkin suit? That was inspired. We're entering, she declared. Tom leaned back, steepling his fingers. Oh, we absolutely are. But where do we get a cat-sized pumpkin costume on a Sunday evening in post-Halloween purgatory? Jenna's eyes gleamed with the kind of chaotic spark that usually preceded either brilliance or disaster. Buy Benny's bargain costumes. They never take down their clearance rack. And how, Tom mused, twirling an imaginary mustache, do we acquire said costume without, say, paying for it? Given that my wallet's currently housing more lint than currency, Jenna leaned in. You've still got those sleight of hand tricks, right? The ones that make quarters disappear and old ladies swoon? Tom's grin turned positively feral. Darling, I could make a nun forget her vows. 10 minutes later, they stood outside Benny's bargain costumes, its windows plastered with 75 off last call for spooks. Signs. Inside, 2 weary clerks sorted through bins of discarded vampire capes and broken plastic fangs. Tom sauntered in first, top hat low, hair cascading over one shoulder like a fallen rock god. He cleared his throat dramatically and, with a flourish, produced a deck of cards from thin air. Ladies, care for a little magic to brighten your post-Halloween blues? While Tom dazzled the clerks with card tricks, vanishing scarves, and a baffling illusion involving a rubber chicken and a coffee mug, Jenna slipped in through the back door she'd accidentally left unlatched. She beelined for the pet section, miraculously untouched, and found it. A plush, zip-up pumpkin costume with leaf ears and a green stem hat. Perfect. Mr. Whiskers, smuggled in a tote bag lined with tuna-scented towels, gave her a look that said, if you do this, I will end you. But Jenna was already wrestling him into the orange fluff, whispering sweet nothings and promises of extra treats. By the time Tom took a bow to enthusiastic applause, how'd you do that? One clerk squealed. Jenna was already out the door, cat fully costumed and grumbling like a tiny, disgruntled gourd. They met in the parking lot, Tom striding over with a satisfied swagger. Jenna held up Mr. Whiskers, who sat stiffly in his pumpkin suit, eyes narrowed to slits, tail twitching like a metronome of judgment. Tom chuckled. He looked seasonally appropriate. At the contest, Mr. Whiskers' sheer indignation, coupled with the absurd perfection of the costume, won over the judges instantly. When Jenna Lane, Mr. Whiskers, the grumpy gourd, was announced as first place, Jenna scooped up her cat while Tom tipped his top hat to the cheering crowd. Back by the river, trophy in hand and cat now free of his orange prison, and furiously licking himself clean of the indignity, they clinked soda cans in celebration. Jenna grinned. I love it when a plan comes together. Tom raised his can, eyes glinting under the setting sun. Especially when it involves Grand Theft Pumpkin. And with Mr. Whiskers stalking on head dignity bruised but bellyful, they wandered off toward the fairgrounds, already plotting next year's scheme.